Today we're going to be comparing two of my favorite scales. We have the Maestri House scale that I have been using to weigh my grounds, my espresso grounds when making lattes. And then we also have the Maxis milligram scale that I've been using to measure certain types of powders, whether it's, a monk fruit sweetener for my coffee or, salt or a couple different things that I would want really specific quantities for. So the biggest difference between the two is this one just measures to the 10th of a gram, and this one measures to the 100th of a gram. So I'll show you both in use, and I'll show you weighing them and stuff like that. But I love both of these for different uses. So you'll get to see kind of the differences and the best use case for both of them. First off, the Maestri House scale goes way higher. I mean, I've put like ceramic bowls on top of this to weigh certain things, and it can handle tons of weight. It goes up to 2,000 grams, so 2 kilograms, which is a ton of weight that this can handle. I'm usually never, putting that much on there, but it's very specific. And what I do a lot of times if I'm like measuring berries for a smoothie is I'll put a cup on here or a bowl, and then I will dump the berries in, and then you'll get to see the weight go up. I'll do the demonstration and everything after I compare the two. And then this one, we're looking at, really small amounts. So it comes with this little cup here with these ears to grab on, and then it's got kind of a little chute that's easy for dumping into cups, into your coffee. It also comes with some calibration weights because you really want this to be accurate. A lot of people will use this for like jewelry, measuring gold, because there's a lot of different settings and different weight styles to measure. But let's turn both of these on. This has an on-off button. This one has an on-off switch. For the milligram scale, we have a bunch of different modes, measuring grams, ounces. It's got carat weight, it's got diamond weight, it's got a bunch of different modes, right? And I'm mostly using it for the grams. You got your tare button that you can clear out and refresh the scale, zero it out, and obviously have that here as well. You're just gonna tap the zero button or the power button. If you don't hold it down, it's not gonna shut off, but if you just tap it, it will clear everything. Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom in on the scales so you can see them at use, see kind of how fine-tuned they are. I got the sea salt here that I'm gonna use for the milligram scale, and then I have just a cup and some fruit to show you kind of how precise we can be on this scale. So we'll start with this one. We're at 0 here. So what I can do is put the cup, see it's a 300 gram cup, and basically I'm just gonna zero that out. It's gonna go to 0. You can set a timer if you want to weigh things for a certain period of time, right? Maybe you're doing things consistently, but here is how that scale will go up. So you can see it goes to the 10th of a gram. So 10.9 grams, and it gets level pretty quickly. If you add a bunch more, we're at 60.5, right? So very precise. Doesn't take long to level out. 49.7, and this actually weighs very accurately, even way off to the side of the scale. So 49.8, if I go way to the corner where it's, half hanging off the edge, it's still the exact measurement, right? Still the exact, this is like falling off, and it's still giving you the exact same measurement. So you don't have to be directly centered where you can't see. You can move it off to the back, and then it's going to still show you what you need here. So this scale, really helpful for certain things, right? If you're measuring grounds, it's gonna be awesome for that. There is an on-off switch, so we can turn it off if we're not using it. It's not gonna waste battery. We do have a Type-C charger here, so you can use your iPhone charger or whatever charger you wanna use to charge this guy up. And the charge lasts for, I swear, a month. Like, I never have to charge this thing, and it'll tell you if it's low battery. So really nice there. Okay, so now we'll look at the milligram scale here, and I have my sea salt. We have the cup on, we have it zeroed. If you need to zero it again, you can hit the tare button, right? If this comes off and we want to zero it, tare, clears it pretty quickly. Put the cup back on, zero it. If you have like a small cup, then you can use that as well. It does come with a small scoop, but a lot of times, I don't need to use that scoop, but it is a very fine scoop if you're using it for something where you're grabbing the small powders or dealing with, small things that you can't really grab with your hand. But let's pour some salt on there, and you can just see the scale go up so incrementally. It's really awesome. Okay, just a little bit of salt on there, 0.051 grams. So it is measuring very precise and small quantities, small weights. And this cup itself can handle about 10 to 15-ish grams before it's overflowing. Yeah, we're at like 13, and we're starting to get it pretty full here. So depending on how fine the powder is that you're measuring here, it can hold quite a bit. And then again, these ears just make it so easy because now I can do this and I can dump, I can throw this away. It's really easy to wash. And then it kind of keeps the surface clean. Now I'm still spilling often. You can see like a little spill mark here, but for the most part, this little cup makes it super easy. If you have a small cup you can set on top of there, it's kind of got little ridges, so it'll kind of stay centered. The cup kind of has a rim too to kind of stay in the bounds there, so it doesn't want to slide if it's, you know, powder hits it pretty quickly. But look at how precise. I mean, 13.322. Dump a little bit out, and we're down to 12.590. So we are looking at really precise. So I guess depending on what you need to measure, both of these scales can do a great job. Like I said, if I'm measuring grounds for my espresso maker, maybe I only need like 11 grams and I don't need it down to 11.05, right? That doesn't really matter. But if I'm measuring, you know, monk fruit sweetener for my coffee, I really only want like 0.1 grams because it is so strong. And if you go too much, then it's going to get bitter. So that's where I would use this scale, and I want to be precise every time so I'm not, you know, making my coffee taste gross and more bitter than coffee already is. So both scales have awesome use. I love both of them, and I've bought a lot of scales in my life, and these two are the ones that I keep coming back to because they're my favorite. So hopefully this helps you guys decide on what type of scale you need for your kitchen.